Hey YouTube, welcome back. Today we continue our series in AWS Serverless fundamentals. Today we will talk about the Lambda deployment packages. So AWS Lambda deployment packages are archives that contain your Lambda function code and any dependencies necessary for the function to execute. These packages can be created in various programming languages supported by AWS Lambda, such as Python, Node.js, and JavaScript, and other languages. And understanding how to package your Lambda function is crucial for successful deployment and operation. So we have two types of the deployment packages. We have the one which will be the dot zip file, and for most runtimes you create a zip file archive that contains your function code and any dependencies, and the .zip file can be uploaded directly to Lambda through the AWS Management Console, AWS CLI, or the AWS SDK. The second thing that we have, which is the container images. Alternatively, basically, you can package your function and dependencies as container image, compatible with the Open Container initiative. This method is useful for functions that require a specific operating system or complex dependencies. So let's just first talk about the zip file, how the zip file works. So if you the way that you create archive zip file, how we have four steps. The first step is that you have the function code, and this one include your function code file like index.js for Node.js, for example, or lambda function.py. After that, we have the dependencies. Like if your function depend on external libraries, include them in the zip file. For example, for Node.js, include the Node module directory. For Python, include the packages from virtual environment. 3, we have directory structure. So the structure within the zip file is important. AWS Lambda expects to find your handler function at the top level of the archive. And lastly, we have the size limit. So the uncompressed size of the function and all its dependencies must be less than 250 megabytes. For large dependencies, consider using Lambda layers for that if you have a larger dependency, larger than 250 megabytes. Let's talk about using containers. Let me delete this one. Yeah. So in the containers, you first have a Docker file or Docker image. You create a Docker file to define your functions, runtime, dependencies, and the function code. After that, you build. You will have to be building your image. So build an image. And after build the image, you will push to AWS ECR. So push the built image to Amazon Elastic Container Registry, and after that you deploy the Lambda. Deploy to Lambda. So once the image is in ECR, you can create a new Lambda function and specify the container image as a source. So let's just try to talk about best practices here. So when it comes to deployment, we have some best practices that we should follow. Number one will be minimize the package size. This is the first thing that we could say. So keep the deployment package as small as possible to reduce the time it takes for Lambda to deploy and start your function. There's something I guess we all will agree on it. Use version control. So use version control for your Lambda function code and include only the necessary files in your deployment package. 3. Use Lambda layers. And in the future, we'll talk about the Lambda layers. So for shared or large dependencies, consider using Lambda layers to keep your deployment small. Security. So ensure no sensitive data like credentials or secrets is included in the deployment package. Use environment variables or AWS secret manager for managing sensitive configuration. Lastly, we have testing. So test the function locally or in a stage environment to ensure it works as expected with package dependencies. And by properly package your Lambda function, you ensure that all necessary code and dependencies are available in the Lambda environment, leading to smoother deployment and execution. So that's it for today's video, and I hope you like my content. If you like my content, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll never miss a video, and see you in future problem.